The lioness asks the man for help to save her cubs, and what happens next is incredible. Oleg, who was born in Ukraine, spent most of his life working at an animal sanctuary in South Africa. As a veterinarian and amateur photographer, Oleg often patrolled the area with his camera, capturing the beauty and essence of the wildlife. One afternoon, while driving through the African savannah, Oleg encountered an event that would change his life forever. In the distance, he spotted a lion concealed among the bushes. It was a rare and remarkable sight, as Oleg had never been this close to such a wild animal before. Typically, he sedated the animals he treated to keep them calm and safe during the process. However, as soon as the lion noticed him, it grew uneasy and attempted to stand. Panic coursed through Oleg, and he instinctively raised his rifle, convinced the lion was about to attack. However, the lion made no move. It seemed unable to. In that tense moment, Oleg noticed something important. The lion's paw was caught in a trap. The sight of the injured paw made it painfully clear that the animal was in great distress and unable to move. Oleg felt a mix of relief for his own safety and horror at the cruel way this majestic creature had been trapped. He was certain that poachers were behind this atrocity. The region was notorious for poachers who used these traps to capture valuable animals, illegally selling their skins, teeth, claws, and other parts. No animal was spared: lions, elephants for their tusks, crocodiles for their skins, antelopes for their horns, and many others fell victim to this ruthless trade. Countless creatures were killed for profit, and this unfortunate lion was on the brink of becoming yet another victim. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Oleg knew he had to act quickly before the poachers returned. He needed to save the poor animal as soon as possible. Gathering his courage, he decided to approach the lion and see if he could get close enough to the trap to free it. However, as he got closer, the frightened and pained lion roared at him and swiped at him with one of its massive paws, demonstrating both its strength and fear. Understanding that the lioness would not let him approach without a fight, Oleg quickly backed away. His professional experience enabled him to notice another crucial detail. When the lioness had attacked, he observed that her belly, particularly her teats, was swollen and full of milk. This indicated that she had cubs nearby. The cubs could not survive without their mother. Other predators could find them, harm them, or even kill them. Oleg knew he had to act quickly to prevent the cubs from starving or getting harmed. But with the mother lioness being so aggressive, there was no way to approach her directly. The kind-hearted man realized he had one option left. He had to find the cubs and bring them to their mother. Fortunately, Oleg knew that the cubs couldn't have gone far from their trapped mother. Being a skilled tracker, he began searching for the cubs' tracks around the area. After following a trail for a short distance, he heard promising sounds and discovered 3 lion cubs hidden among the tall grass, crying out for their mother. Oleg quickly and carefully picked up the cubs, holding them gently but firmly as he made his way back to the trapped lioness. As soon as the mother lioness saw her cubs, she roared again and made desperate attempts to free herself, driven by maternal instinct. Fearing that she might injure herself further, Oleg gently placed the cubs on the ground. They immediately ran to their mother, their small bodies moving quickly across the grass. Meanwhile, Oleg approached the lioness cautiously, speaking to her in a calm and soothing voice. His extensive experience with animals had taught him that this method often reassured distressed creatures. He needed to convey to the lioness that he meant no harm and wanted to help. Gradually, sensing that Oleg was not a threat, the lioness calmed down. When the cubs finally reached her, she lay down and allowed them to nurse, her body relaxing visibly. Oleg watched from a safe distance as the family reunited. He was relieved that the cubs had returned to their mother, but he was still unsure how to free the lioness. He stood there for a while, continuing to speak to her in soothing tones, hoping to build trust. He didn't know how long she had been trapped, but it was clear she needed food. Oleg quickly ran back to his car to see if he had any food. Finding nothing suitable, he decided to search the area. After a short search, he found a zebra carcass. Although there was little meat left, he knew it would suffice. The brave man cut a large piece of meat from the zebra and returned to the lioness and her cubs. The big cat, now less aggressive, watched Oleg as he tossed the meat within her reach. Hesitantly, the lioness stood up, sniffed the meat, and began eating. Oleg, knowing this was his opportunity, retrieved his tranquilizer rifle from the car. As the lioness was distracted by the meat, he aimed carefully and shot a tranquilizer dart into her. Once the tranquilizer took effect, he approached her cautiously, freed her paw from the trap, and began dragging her to the back of his truck. Oleg was so focused on his task that he didn't notice other lions approaching. As Oleg worked to lift the lioness, he suddenly realized that other lions had surrounded him. He slowly lifted his head and saw them only a few meters away. But instead of attacking, they stood there, observing. One of the lions walked right up to Oleg. Frozen with fear but determined to stay calm, Oleg waited without moving. To his astonishment, the lion began to rub against him as if recognizing that he was helping their injured companion. After a brief moment, the lions disappeared into the distance. Oleg was left speechless by the incredible encounter. He finally managed to load the mother lioness and her cubs into his truck. Quickly getting behind the wheel, he drove towards the wildlife sanctuary, his mind racing with thoughts of the extraordinary events he had just witnessed. Upon arrival, other veterinarians rushed to assist. They immediately began treating the mother lioness while Oleg looked on, relieved and hopeful. Some time passed, and the mother lioness made a full recovery. During her recuperation, she and her cubs grew increasingly friendly with Oleg, often approaching him and showing signs of affection. A few months later, it was time to release the lion family back into the wild. Before parting ways, Oleg shared a final, heartfelt embrace with the lions. The moment was bittersweet as he watched them return to their natural habitat, knowing he had made a lasting impact on their lives. Years passed, and Oleg never saw the lions again, though his life continued with the same passion and dedication to wildlife. One day, while driving through the savannah, he spotted a pride of lions resting under a tree. He stopped his car at a respectful distance, watching them with a mix of curiosity and nostalgia. One of the lions lifted its head, locked eyes with him, and began walking toward him. Initially, Oleg felt a surge of tension, wary of being attacked. But as the lion came closer, he suddenly recognized it. It was one of the lions Oleg had rescued 4 years earlier. Astonished and overjoyed, he realized the lion remembered him. Soon, the mother lioness and the other cubs, now fully grown, approached as well. The mother lioness gently rubbed her head against him and licked him affectionately. Oleg smiled, his heart brimming with joy, as he softly petted and embraced the lions he had once saved. It was a moment of pure happiness. These majestic animals had not forgotten the man who had saved them from certain death. As Oleg drove home, he reflected on the remarkable bond he had formed with these majestic creatures and the profound impact they had made on his life. What an incredible story! If you enjoyed this video and want to see more, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. We'd love to hear your thoughts, so please leave a comment below. See you in the next video.